Let's pretend that you're an Italian plumber from the Bronx and you have to kill turtles for coins to support your mushroom habit. What if you're not a plumber, but you're just a lowly domestic terrorist that needs money for bombs? What if your plumber has a younger, more handsome brother, but you don't want them to share coins, so you still have to figure out how to collect coins and figure out who collected the coins to give the right plumber the right coins? Today's lesson, coin systems. Too many times when I've shot from the hip, I've shot myself in the foot. So let's make a plan. First, we need a coin. The coin needs a sprite, a collider, a value, and an effect when it gets destroyed. For our player, we just need a sprite, a collider, and a tag. For display, we need a text, a sprite, and a method to update the text. Last up is data. That's going to hold the value of how many coins we have. Now let's figure out what our dependencies are. When the player collides with the coin needs to know it's a player. Then the coin's going to pass its value to an action. Then it's going to destroy itself and play an effect. Then our value gets sent over to data, and then display pulls from the data so it updates the coin count. If that flowchart confused you, maybe the pseudocode will help. Our general idea is if the player touches a coin, we need to get the coin value, create an effect, destroy the coin, update our data, and update our display. Let's do this. Here we are in Unity. Let's go ahead and make a game object called coin. And reset the transform. Sometimes when you make a new game object, it kind of puts it in a weird spot. Let's add a sprite renderer and throw in our coin sprite. We also need a box collider. And let's go ahead and shrink that up to the size of the coin. And when making pickup objects, make sure you set isTrigger. We don't want the physics to affect our player character. Then we're going to go ahead and make two scripts. We're going to make one script called coin, and we're going to make a game event script, just like in the action video. And let's add the coin script to our coin. Okay, let's get rid of start and update. This is not a mono behavior, so let's get rid of that. This will be a static class that doesn't get attached to an object, and we need to make an event called onCoinGet. Then we need to make a function that triggers onCoinGet. And then we need to invoke that action. And let's go ahead and throw in the debugger. We got a coin. But how do we pass around values? We didn't do that in the action video. You're going to add int after action, and that makes it so that action requires an integer. Then we're going to put in a coin value is required to run the function trigger coin get and pass the coin value into the action. Let's update the debug and put got a coin, it was worth, and then the coin value that gets passed through. For this script, we're going to add in the top. We're going to be using the game event script. We're going to get rid of start and update again. We're going to give an integer for the coin value, and we're going to make a game object that spawns to destroy the coin. That way the coin is destroyed and it's just a little effect that shows up. Then we're going to enter trigger 2D. And when we enter trigger 2D, we want to make sure that whatever touched the coin is a player. So we're going to compare the tag to player. And if it is a player, we're going to trigger coin get and pass along our value. Then we destroy the coin. And let's make a method to create the destroy effect. Instantiate the destroy effect at this object's position and at this object's rotation, but not as a child of the object. That way it doesn't get destroyed when we destroy the coin. And let's put that method right before we destroy the coin. And that's it. If you want to see a destroy effect, I can show you in a future tutorial, but for now, we're going to worry about passing these values around. I'm going to drop the prefab destroy effect in there and give the coin a value of 1. Here's our plumber. Make sure tagged him as a player. Hit play. And as he touches the coin disappears and we get a little debug that the coin was worth 1. But that 1 just goes up into nowhere. We need to actually send it to game data. Here's a new script called game data, and we're going to use game events. And here we're going to make a property. We're going to use a private int that is our collected coins, and then we're going to make a public int that is our coins collected that only lets other game objects know how many coins we've collected, but they're not able to change the value that is in our script. Here we're going to subscribe to the event on CoinGet and run the method collect coins. And we're going to make sure that we pass in the coin value to collect coins, add the coin value to coins collected. And then we need to figure out how to display our coins. Making UI in Unity can be a nightmare. Here I'm making a canvas with a text object and a sprite. I'm not going to tell you how to do this because I don't think I'm doing it well enough to be useful to anyone else. This is just to see some text on the screen as we update our coins. Alright, here's a script called Coin UI Updater. This is how we're going to actually update the UI. We need a text object. Let's call it coin count text. We don't need update for this. And we're going to need to make a new action that triggers after our coin gets collected and updates the data. So let's worry about that later. Right now, let's just make a method to update the coin count or the coin text. We need to pass in the value of all the coins our player has collected. And we're going to update our text by turning the coins collected into a string. So .toString is just going to turn the text or the integer to a string. So let's go back to game events and make a new event. And we're going to call this onCoinUpdate. And we're going to trigger coin update. And this time we need coins collected to be put here. Let's invoke it with coins collected. And let's just debug with update coin UI with, and then the amount of coins. Back into game data, we can trigger the coin update here with how many coins we have. And let's subscribe to onCoinUpdate and run the function update coin text and make sure we're using game events. Here we are back in Unity. Let's drop the text in. I've got our first coin valued at 1 coin and our second coin valued at 2 coins. So we should see 1 and then 3. Perfect. So let's go ahead and double up these coins and collect a bunch of coins all at once. I'll give this second coin a value of 10, and the fourth coin, just throw 90 in there. I don't know if you know anything about plumbers, but their pockets can only hold 99 coins. Alright, we need a new variable called lives, and we need a new method called getLives. And a quick little trick is we can put the opposite of what we want, and if that's true, we can just leave. And then we'll put in a while loop in case we collect like 1,000 coins at once. So while our coins are greater than 100, let's add 1 life and get rid of 100 coins. And drop that method up in collect coin before we update our screen. Here we are in Unity. Watch the game data. Boom, we have 3 left over and 1 new life. Let's give our terrorists the ability to spend those coins or rupees and buy bombs. So let's make a script called buy bombs. We're going to be using game events again. And this time we need a variable for the cost of the bombs and how many bombs you get per purchase. We don't need starter update. And let's make this familiar on trigger enter and check for a player. And now we need an action to actually buy the bombs. So go back to game events and we're going to make a new action, this time with 2 integers. And for the trigger, we need to make sure that there's 2 ints in the parentheses. So let's do a cost and a count. And then just invoke the event. And we'll put a debug log that something happened. We go back to buy bombs and add in our trigger and add in our bomb cost. Then go back to the data, add in and subscribe to on buy bombs. And when we buy bombs, we need to make sure that we have enough money to buy the bombs. And if we have enough money, we're going to spend those coins and add in the bomb inventory. And if we don't have enough money, we're going to put in the console, hey, don't have enough money to buy bombs. And then we're going to update our display again if we do buy bombs. Alright, let's see if this works. I got bombs cost 10 and you get 3 bombs per thing. So let's pick up all these coins. Spent some, got 3 bombs, boom, 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 boom. Alright, and there you can see the error right there. You do not have enough money for bombs. We still have 3 coins, and it doesn't go less than 3. Here are Plumber Brothers, and we need a script to differentiate between player 1 and player 2. We're going to make a script called player ID and add it to both. Let's give the player identifier a player ID and a public reference to that player ID. Remember, best practice is to count from 0, so our Italian is 0 and our clairvoyant is 1. I'm going to make a game data for 2 players. I'm going to make a class called player with variables called coins collected and lives. and then make an array of 2 of those so that each player has their own stats. The thing that says system.serializable in the bracket makes it so that I can access this class player from inside the inspector. I went ahead and made another script called game events 2player so you can see the game events for this. We're going to make an action called onCoinGet. This time we're going to have 2 ints, the player ID and the coin value. Back in game data 2player, we're going to add that game events 2player. We're going to subscribe to onCoinGet. And we'll write a method for collect coin. The difference for this collect coin is we're going to reference the player ID and the array of players and tell that coin's collected to change its coin value. Then we'll also do the get lives check like we did before, this time referencing the player ID in the array of players to change the lives. Alright, we're almost done. We need to make one more script for the 2player coin. We're going to call this coin 2player. It's going to be almost the same as before. It's going to have a coin value and on trigger enter. I'm not going to bother with showing what happens when you destroy it, the coin effect, because we saw that earlier in this video. So it's just going to check for the player. When it sees a player, it's going to grab the player's player ID and trigger onCoinGet with the player ID and the coin value. A unity trick is if you add string name to a class, you can name the elements of an array. Back on our game data script, let's go ahead and name the Italian plumber and the clairvoyant plumber. If you watch the game data 2player script, you can see coins collected only go up when each plumber collects coins. We did it. Thanks for watching. Head over to Twitter @BathThief if you want to try to win a copy of Aseprite. If you like this tutorial, let me know. I'll keep making them if you keep liking them. Bye-bye.